Hi, welcome to the New Normal, and today we have a featured guest, Reverend William Rainen, and he's going to be sharing, oh my gosh, over 30 years of wisdom in terms of teaching, being an international lecturer in Japan. Oh, wow, you have so many things that you bring to the plate in terms of wisdom. And today I understand you're going to share about dreams.
Yes.
Yay.
But I have to stress, what I teach in my workshops, my programs, is what works for me. And I encourage people gather information and then find out how they can adapt. You and I have totally different approaches to dreams, but they mesh beautifully. Because you don't try to change me, I don't try to change you. And that's what all of you need to do, is recognize you're just gathering information. And you become your own teacher, you become your own guide, and you become your own best friend.
I mean, dreams, William, is like a huge category. Do you know what I'm saying?
And then plus it's huge.
And plus it's huger. So you had said something about conscious brain dreams.
Yes.
You want to start there, breaking that down for us?
Yeah, that's good. We have basically two parts in each of us. We have the brain, but our brain lives only once. When we leave our body behind, our brain disintegrates. But all of our memories, all that we have experienced in the current life, blends with the soul. And so the next step is soul dreams.
So conscious dreams versus brain dreams and
Yes.
soul dreams.
Yes.
Which one you want to talk about first with us?
Well, I think that basically we all have been brought up to believe that all dreams are from our brain. And so that's where we start.
Okay. All
Because
right.
most people deny the possibility of their soul being a constant interaction. And so they say, my dream last night was about me. When actually, your dream could be influenced by the collective fear, the collective anger.
Yes,
It could be
yes.
influenced by the person next door who's beating up his wife.
Yes.
And so it's not really always about the person. And so I encourage people to make notes. The dreams you had, were they in black and white? Or were they in color?
Absolutely. Oh, okay. I love that. Black and white versus color dreams.
Yes.
Uh,
And then the next step of that,
okay.
yeah, is were you the observer or were you a participant in the dream?
Okay. Can I interrupt? I gotta
Please.
ask you. Observe.
Please.
Okay. So when you say observer, like, is there there's like a grid or something that you're referring to? Are you like omniscient looking down at the dream, or small person in the dream? Break that down for us, because I'm not sure I'm clear about that.
I'm not sure I am.
Okay, I love your honesty. That's great.
Okay, the observer, you could be yourself, you could be a dog,
Okay.
you could be an invisible person sitting on a chair,
Okay.
and you're just watching everything that's going on.
So that watching is the operative word.
Yes.
When you wake up and you're like, I had a dream, and you say, like, so ask, were you the observer
Or the participant.
participant? And that watching is that, okay?
Yeah, and the participant could be you're right there in and taking action. No matter what the other people are doing, you're taking action with it. You're intricately involved with it. And so that also will help you interpret what it means or what it doesn't mean.
Okay. I mean, I get a little triggered by that. Interpret,
Please.
what it means. So I have a question. Maybe our viewers.
You can
like
have
this way
lots
too.
of questions.
Okay, because I always do.
I didn't know that.
Interpret. Like, do you recommend people like get a book that has interpretations, or what do you think they need to do to self-interpret? To interpret their dreams. You're laughing. About the
Okay,
book.
well, do you have about 3 hours?
Yeah, okay.
If you're going to get a dream interpretation book, get 3 or 4 books.
Okay.
Because each book is going to have a different meaning for each symbol, even color, even interpretation of sound.
Yes.
And so they're all right, and they're all not right. And that's hard for most people, particularly intellectually based people. And I'm looking at one right now.
Absolutely.
Yes. The important thing is you have to get in touch with your 5 senses. And we're taught as children to ignore them. So now we have to reactivate how we respond. Often I say to a client, as an example, I say, how does that make you feel? And they instantly try to interpret intellectually.
If I
Please,
because we're
please.
just doing, you talk a lot about the 5 senses, and I kind of heard when you said, like, so when you interpret, it's like color, sound, how important it is, you're saying, to feel, like, even though you can't describe the color, it has a feeling,
Yes,
and don't doubt that.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, because like one example, I asked a man recently, how does what I've been saying make you feel? And he said, well, there's a smell that I hate. And I go, but whatever created that smell probably doesn't hate who or what they are. They don't hate that smell. And so that's from your brain. You don't like that smell because it reminds you of something that was unpleasant in your life. And so you have to get away from letting your brain control everything.
And that, I can feel where that would be challenging for just about everybody.
Yes.
Because again, like you say, we've been trained to do that. So now we're untraining ourselves.
Untraining, retraining, absolutely. And it doesn't happen overnight. So gang, it's important that you be patient with yourself, love yourself, honor yourself, and recognize even a smell can identify something about a feeling, not a thought.
I do remember hearing a long time ago, sometimes when the angels were by or it was a spirit, you could get a smell in the air.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of us experienced that before. It's interesting. You touched upon dream time.
Oh, yes.
What's the difference between daydreaming and night dreaming?
I'm not laughing at you.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I am a little bit.
Okay.
Dream time is equal to another dimension.
Okay.
Dream time is intricately involved with out-of-body experience.
Okay.
It's intricately involved with prophecy.
Okay.
And dream time has no time. It has no spatial identity.
Okay.
It changes color. It changes environment. And dream time changes according to what the participant needs. And so if you go to dream time, don't think it's going to always look the same. It's going to look, feel, and smell different every time. And dream time is not something you create. It already is created.
All right, Bugs. I love it. It's a laugh break time, obviously.
Yeah.
Laugh break time, I love that.
Because dream time is an existing dimension, but it's not considered scientifically a dimension. Does that make sense?
No, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, good.
What makes sense is that we don't need to make nonsense, you know, to quantify it. It's like it's
Exactly.
a bunch of stuff, and just trust that. It feels like what you're saying.
That's good, that's good. Dream time is a space that every living being, not just human, touches into every single day of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have a fantasy, where did that come from? Usually, not always, but dream time. When you're looking and you see things on an angle, in a slightly different perspective, it's not to go visit your eye doctor, it's that you've been tapping into, from your consciousness, into dream time.
So then, William, you're saying when people possibly sitting at work and they need to take a quick little break and they kind of just they're off in the zone.
Yes, yes.
That's dream time.
Absolutely.
And it can take a long or a short.
Absolutely. When you, George, and I are meeting, sometimes you have the experience of, is he here? Where'd he go? I was bored maybe with what you two were saying, so I went to dream time. Now, I am blessed in many ways, and I can go there by choice. Most people still can't do it by choice, but it takes practice, it takes years of learning, and I'm still learning. But it's also fun. And when you start practicing, all of you out there, when you start practicing more interaction with your dreams, people are going to think you're a little crazy. My family, years ago in Boston, put me into an institution because they knew I had lost what little sanity I had. Because they always said, this one is crazy, from the day I was born.
I'm feeling like we have to be a little bit crazy to be on this planet.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If I weren't a little crazy, I would not have survived.
So then dream time, if we could say zone time, like zone
I like
out.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Space out, zone out.
And what you just did is an excellent thing for everyone out there to do. Find what it means to you.
Mm-hmm.
Zone time,
Mm-hmm.
you might think it's escape time. And don't worry about what other people think. No matter what you do, there are people who are going to disagree. And so just say, well, thank you for disagreeing, and follow your heart.
Okay, I like that. Now you said people could disagree, so it feels like you're saying, is there something about having a dream partner that'd be a good thing?
Now,
Or what would you, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you're sharing your dream to get some insight from people?
okay, there are two different levels of that,
Okay.
which actually are more like 20 different levels.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's very healthy for all of you, not your wife, not your husband, not your lover, but find someone that you feel compatible with, who you can share your dreams without judgment, criticism, without the other person trying to interpret what you're saying, just interacting. Don't take it as now the next step is my dream partner and I have to share the exact same dream. Sharing a dream is a totally different thing. And yes, it is possible to share dreams.
Are there any sort of basic ground rules you would give people in terms of dialoguing with each other on sharing your dream? Because it's like, whoa, you're talking about symbols and colors and a bunch of stuff. How does someone get a handle on saying, I want to share my dream with you, you know?
Well, it's like when I share a dream with you, I don't tell you how to interpret it. I know the question was, what do you say? I'm also saying a lot of sharing it is saying nothing. Just say, this is the dream, A, B, C, D. And if you had an aroma, say, I had this aroma. Don't interpret it. Don't say, to me it meant, because she or he might have a totally different meaning, and that's good. So sharing is, may I share a dream with you?
Okay, so asking
You know,
permission.
I often say,
Yeah.
may I?
Yeah.
Because you need permission, because you are stepping into their world. It's not, you're not invited. You're saying, may I step into your world?
Okay.
And so you don't tell them how to interpret it. You don't tell them what to say. And this is how I felt. Not how you think, but how you felt. You know, I felt really good with that dream. I felt excited. I felt angry, but I knew it wasn't my anger. And so don't tell them how to react. And just share it, because the more you share your dreams with a companion, the more you're going to build a clear, honest communication, because you share that dream space. Now your communication with other members of your family, your co-workers, it's automatically going to improve.
I just flashed Aboriginal people
Yes.
talking about dream time. You speak of that a lot, and it just came across my little noggin.
And the best Dreamtime people I've ever met in the physical bodies are Australian Aboriginals. The next are the Maori people,
Which ones?
Maori people,
Oh, Maori people. Okay.
New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay.
And the next are the Ainus in Japan. And I think the best dream workers are the pure Hopis.
All right.
That the Hopis who have been interbreeding for the last 2 billion years, often they don't have the purity.
Okay, you said Hopi, and then through my little head, I'm like, I know a lot of people do psychedelics and that, mushrooms, to engage in, expanded consciousness. Do you have any input on that in terms of value? Just any comments
Yes.
about that? That you want to share?
No.
Okay.
If you take a psychedelic because you want, from the brain, you want an experience. But if you take a psychedelic because you want to embrace your soul, that's a totally different thing. And the current Hopis, under the circumstances that has been imposed on them, they're trying to satisfy their brain consciousness.
Interesting.
But the older, and I'm not talking chronologically, the old ways, it was experiencing, embracing the soul, and discovering who you really are, how you feel, how you interact with all life. And the current Hopis can be very involved in judging other tribes, other races, other animals, plants. And they forget that when you take a psychedelic, you're taking from a drug, from a plant, and that you're embracing that consciousness.
So I, again, cross my little noggin, a lot of people are involved in ayahuasca. Ayahuasca, they take that psychedelic, the plant medicine.
Yes.
And I'm just curious what your feedback is about that in terms of going to a shaman and having them administer the ayahuasca, and you do a journey.
You've just pushed one of my buttons.
Okay, I like pushing buttons.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, because it stimulates great conversation.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I have a friend who takes people on journeys.
Okay.
And most of the journeying that they do, that person and their client, is all about how they think, feel, how they think, smell. But if you, oh yeah.
Nice distinction.
But if you take a psychedelic and you go on a journey with a guide, and they guide by energy, not by want, it's a whole different adventure.
Okay, so I feel that you're saying that's not a horrible thing, but just be really clear.
Be clear
about what it is that you're doing and why.
Well, as an example, you know that recently I was injured.
Yes.
And I'm taking a SDE or something.
Oh, the Indocan CBD, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's the
CBD,
one.
SKE. I love that. CBD, you're good.
But when I do take it, I don't, how do I say this? I don't take it with an intellectual hope, demand, or expectation. And so I have to take it without the guidance of a guide. And the manufacturer is no longer part of it. And so they suggested do it A, B, C. I do it according to, yes, I ask advice, I gather all different opinions from you and whoever, but then I have that approach of letting my body feel it. And so the results have been remarkable. I'm not saying I do it perfectly, but all of you, you have to separate from, be it a drug, be it an alcohol, be it a massage, you have to separate from the therapist, you have to separate from yourself, and let your entire being gain what they need. And sometimes what I want for healing is not what my soul needs. Now, here, a lot of people disagree with what I'm about to say, and I don't care. I believe that sometimes healing is not getting rid of the injury or the illness, it's getting the strength to deal with it in grace and dignity. So, it's when we're talking about dreams, we're talking about an intricacy that has nothing to do with interpretations, opinions. I know some very fine dream therapists, and they're all different. And they argue, they fight, at which point that takes away some of their power.
Like whose interpretation is the best for you,
Yes.
or correct?
Absolutely.
I mean, I can see totally where your teachings have to do with direct revelation. People need to learn how to interpret all the things. And in fact, living on this earth is dream time. It's a dream.
And yes, that's a perfect description.
Kind of a scary one sometimes.
Because it is, in fact, embracing the fact that dream time is real. And it is another dimension. And I mentioned earlier, you're all tapping into it every day.
Absolutely. So you're suggesting that as we become open to new lenses, of which dreams are one of those, approach it seriously.
Absolutely.
Make a commitment.
Perfect.
Are there any, I don't mean to keep doing the rule thing, but we come from a time when there's got to be some, 1, 2, 3. So in preparing yourself for, being open to dreaming like at nighttime, is there any suggestions you would give our viewers?
Okay, now,
Yeah.
before going to bed, even if you share your bed with another person, you have to release all of your experiences of the day. Let them go and tell yourself, not with words but feelings, that there's nothing you can do to change anything you experience so that you don't get caught up in influencing your dreams by thinking, I wish I had done something different. Maybe if I had done something in a slightly different way. All of that has to be blessed and released, because if you could change anything that you did or did not do today, you would have done differently at that moment, not later, because it's too late. If it's done, honey. That's it.
I mean, even just, 5 minutes ago.
Oh, 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's pretty intense how we are moving through. I'm just adding on to that, how we're
If
just
I
moving
weren't supposed
through.
to be here as your guest, I had the choice of not to be here.
Yes.
I could have said, thank you for the invitation, Renata, but no. And so I chose to be here. And I might say things that Max doesn't like or Renata doesn't like, and I can't care.
That's the more really what you're saying. It's like when you start to care about the outcome specifically,
Yep.
you move into a different region of your psyche.
Absolutely.
And that's as a someone that's been working with dreams for a long time, your wisdom is saying to our viewers, put that aside
Put it
as best you
aside.
can.
Because many times you have dreams for the collective experience of your environment.
Ooh, okay. You keep going, but that's collective, like
Oh,
healing,
yes.
healing the collective. A lot of that's going on now.
And so a lot of times you're not participating, you're observing the hysteria of people, the fear of people, and then it stimulates you to have the dream that might or might not be helping them. It also is helping you, but it's not your dream.
I do remember having several years ago a series of dreams about customers in my store, and I called you, and you said to me, Renata, if you are not in the dream, this is not your dream.
Exactly.
You're psychically sensitive. You are just observing, so just observe. Don't try to fix it.
That
That was so valuable.
Because you still love your customer, but you observe your customer. Often when you observe the people around you, you're being shown what you should do in your life or what you should not do in your life. It's all about choices.
Another one
Go
comes
for it.
up. Excuse me. Another one comes up. So, observing a dream and someone else is in it, I called you because I was thinking maybe I should call this customer and tell them I've been having dreams about him. And you said, again, Renata, if you were in the dream, that's about you. If you were not, it's not about you.
Because if she had called the customer, she would have been interfering with things that were none of her business. And people do it all the time. I've recently had an experience where someone I trust a great deal kept telling me the same thing over and over again as if I had never heard it before. And then I got really irritated, and a part of me that most of you have not seen came to the surface, and I said, shut up. And you don't really know. If you've shared something, it's like planting a seed. You let it grow or not grow, because it's really none of your business.
That's that, there's gold in there, mind your own business.
Yeah.
That's that part of it that's super important, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but now that's interesting though. What do you have to say about dreams that are prophetic, like when things actually happen? Because, that's real too.
Oh, absolutely. But if you're going to anticipate having a prophetic dream, and that's what you do when you're blessing the day and releasing it, you're opening an invitation to your soul, higher self, to bring you what you need for your growth. It might not be what you expected or wanted. And so you are cleaning?
It's part of that new dictionary we're doing.
Yes, the blackboard, so that your soul can bring you what you really need. And it's not something you think you need or think you want. Because often what your brain wants is major limitation. What your soul wants is to bring about a balance. And your dreams then become prophetic, because it's saying you have to learn more about listening, or you need to learn more about
Listening.
speaking, but only when invited. So it's your dreams become tools. And many people say, I don't dream. Well, just scientifically, we all know if you're sleeping, you're dreaming. Your brain is denying you the joy of observing your dreams. And I know many healers who do their healing in dream time. They dream for what's happening in India or what's happening in South Africa, because there is no time in dream time. There is no space in dream time. And so you can set that up and say, I'm concerned about what's happening in England, so I want to dream something that will help them. Well, all of that is about you, because you're saying, I want to fix them. What you need is to say instead, I'm ready to dream and project the energies that the people in England are ready to embrace. So you have to really be careful how you word your preparation for your dreams.
I have an example from a long time ago when I first started having dreams that I paid attention to.
Yeah.
Someone in my family was very ill, and we went to a health conference at the hospital to decide whether to pull the plug or not, that kind of thing. And the night before, I went to bed, and I'm like, wow, I don't know. He's pretty sick, but, I really don't know. Went to bed, and I had a really interesting dream. I was like a little kid at the bottom of the steps, and I looked up, and this relative was morbidly obese, and that was part of the challenge, I looked up, and they were like really light, like in body, physically light. And I looked and thought, wow, you're really good. Look at you. You look so good and healthy. I went back to the care conference and said, I think he's kind of, I said I had this dream, and I'm feeling like he's ready to go. That's what I was shown, like he was already gone.
And you see, I would have interpreted slightly different and said, he was already gone. But we, people, were keeping him alive.
Right. And then the care conference is about whether we should keep giving him stuff to keep him physically here or just let him go. And so that was my input,
Many, many years ago, I had a son that was killed.
Yes.
And people thought I was weird because I wouldn't prosecute, I wouldn't judge or criticize. But it was all part of balancing his soul, the other person's soul, and my soul, and my family's. And so we don't determine what's right and wrong. We allow the dream experience to make things soul right. Balance. Because once you reach balance, then you reach perfection, and you can go into whatever you think of as heaven.
So when you say soul, could you superimpose the word higher self onto that as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They are interchangeable.
Okay. That's really fascinating. Just the ability to connect with all the dimensions all the time when you need to do that for yourself.
Because all of your memories are there in the soul. but it's not there as good or not good. It's there is this balance. And the balance has nothing to do with good or not good.
Yeah, but that's that polarity that we've got going on our planet with it's either this or that. Well, it's usually a little bit of both.
Oh,
You know, it's gray. It's not black or white. It kind of means gray.
So
Yeah.
it's at least 3 dimensions. Yeah.
Yes.
And the important thing is let your dreams work with you, not against you. So even what you call a nightmare, often it's because there's something out of balance in you and you're letting a negative or a dark force come into you. And so it's not judging, it's just saying, be more open with who you are. Live your ethic. Don't talk your ethic. Right now in our governments of the world, a lot of people, they go to a church or a temple once a week and they say they're spiritual. And then they go around and they lie to us. They don't tell us all of the information because they think if she or he knows all of the truth, they're not going to support me. They're not going to keep giving me all this money.
And what's so interesting what we say about balance, because balance is found in the now, it's not found in
That's
the
right.
past, and it's not created in the future.
That's right.
Balance
Oh,
is
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Balance is created in the now moment. That's why that's so important. Like you say, to be present. And dreams seem to be like a really valuable tool because they pull from all of it, boom.
Listen to what Renata just said. It's a valuable tool.
Yeah.
And so in your dreams, keep a dream journal. And if you wake up and say, but I don't remember the dream, write down, I had a dream, but I don't remember it. Because then you're programming yourself to move away from intellectual control and you'll start remembering more of your dreams.
Ooh, you're saying some good stuff, William. Programming yourself. We have been programmed to not trust ourselves. Now you're saying use all of your tools to program yourself to trust yourself.
To trust, love, and honor yourself.
Yeah, trust your value.
Yes.
But if you don't have that, you don't have anything.
And so all of you listeners, it's easier for most women to remember their dreams. But men, you can too. It's not taking away your masculinity. It's just opening you to discover why you're here, how you're here. And it makes your professional life blossom. Your dreams will guide you into creating comfort in this time of discomfort. So I'm encouraging all of you, get involved with loving yourself, loving your friends and neighbors. You might not even like them, but love them. Big difference.
Yes, there's a huge difference. Love, Dr. Peoples says, right, love everybody's right to be, but sometimes they have to be someplace
Who's
else.
Dr. Peoples?
Dr. Peoples is someone I've heard you talk about a lot. You want to share Dr. Peoples?
Yeah, but you see, we're talking to a group out there.
Yeah.
Dr. Peoples was a spirit. He channeled through me for many years until it became too difficult for my physical body. And he still comes to me. He still helps me in my writing. I've published, as you know, about 31 books and published in many magazines, particularly in Asia. And it's all about respecting yourself. Face your idiosyncrasies. Or as my mother said, your idiot-syncrasies.
Both apply, huh?
Oh, yeah. And so the important thing is use your skills. So men, enjoy your dreams. It's going to make you better at whatever you're already good at. And if you're good now, you'll just get gooder. It's an exciting time. Share your experiences with your wife, your lover, your friend. And what they think doesn't matter. What matters is that you're opening yourself to discover that you can have out-of-body experiences, you can have prophetic dreams, you can have collective dreams, and that everything is bringing about a balance for all life on our planet.
Yes. And you just talked about when you prepare yourself to go to bed at night, just kind of open up, release the day. And then you said, write your dreams down. Do you recommend like just some paper, or do you have a dedicated booklet that you do it in? What's your suggestion for people?
At my dream workshops, I bring a stack of journals,
Okay.
and everyone gets one. And every day they make an entry in it.
Mm-hmm.
If they sleep during the day, they date it and make an entry.
Okay.
And so keep a dream journal. And like I said a moment ago, even if you don't remember the dream, say, I slept, I dreamt, I did not remember. Then you're opening the door so that next time you're sleeping, you'll start to remember your dreams.
And even so, I can see the value of having a book where you can go back and look through it. There may be some consistencies in symbols, colors, sounds across a week or a month or a year with your journal.
We spend, like at a weekend workshop, we spend a good half a day defining. The first half is your dreams. The second is your previous lives that you've been shown. The next is what colors mean to you, not to anybody else. But recognizing that what red means today could mean a totally different thing tomorrow. And the dream journal, well, it's like your own therapy.
That's kind of how I feel about the dream time. Like my own little.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the important thing is get to know who you are. Get to know through your dreams, through your conscious time. Men often say, but my only job is to support my family, to have children to prove I'm a man. And that's a pile of crap.
And this
That
day
is
and time.
not your purpose. Yes, you can still support your family. You can still do your job. But love everyone that you work with. Encourage everyone you work with, because they're part of what needs to be balanced. I know many professional men who don't even know the name of their secretary or their treasurer. Know them, speak to them, thank them. Give yourself the opportunity for your career to become growing, because your business will grow accordingly.
I love that idea of opportunity and allowance. A lot of what you're
Yes.
saying is allow yourself to open up, allow yourself to not define yourself, and allow yourself not to be trapped in the rigidity of needing to know what that meant. Let it flow.
Now, eventually, soon, I'm going to be doing some dream workshops here in Tacoma. And if any of you are interested, let us know. You make a note on the blog at universallifealliance.org, and then we can notify you when we're going to be doing a workshop online or in person.
Absolutely.
And Renata's going to be doing some very important workshops. Let us know that you're interested, because we can't give you what you need unless you let us know.
Well, actually, too, just I want to make sure that we covered the topics that you wanted to cover about dreaming before I do like the gratuitous commercial.
Oh, okay.
I'll just do a little commercially thing now.
Okay. Yeah,
Fairly
because we're
s-
almost out of time.
Yeah, time being elusive as it is. We have a new international number that we're going to be listing, so you'll be able to call for one. And then we are shifting a couple things on the blog or on the website. So there'll be spending time with William. William's going to have William's blog, so you can find him directly. And we're deciding whether we want to book appointments like directly, whether you have their, his email and you'll just do it directly, or we want to, run it through something else. That's kind of where we're at, just deciding how we want to do this at best.
How.
Yeah. To just, in terms of those small little details. But again, I want to emphasize the wisdom is there, and William is just a valuable resource for you to gain the confidence to go out and just be you and use those tools like dreaming and paying attention with your five senses, which is something you talk about all the time. And I get how important that is to check in with yourself to see where you're at. Where's that stuff coming from?
Because like if you book an appointment with me and you have no money, I'll work with you to find a way to still do the appointment without money. That's all. Because the important thing is that you get to know that you have free will, that you have choice, and that if you have a question, I can't answer it, but I can give you ideas that will help you know what's right for you.
I mean, it seems like the whole concept of the Universal Life Alliance is to shift consciousness one thought at a time.
Yep.
But now, because things are so sped up, consciousness is shifting, especially through dream time.
Oh, yes.
Many lifetimes at a time.
And as we've been saying, we need your response. We need to know what you're looking for, what you want to improve or disprove in your life. So keep us informed, because we are your friends. We are members of your family, like it or not.
Well, Universal Life Alliance really is a non-denominational
That's right.
congregation, spiritual congregation with no walls.
And it's not just humans.
No, it's all life forms. It's everything.
Oh, and my hummingbirds are back.
Oh, did they come back?
Yep.
Oh, I love that. I knew they would eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, the sunshine does bring out some good stuff, doesn't it?
Oh, sure.
And so, also to share with the viewers, I did go visit a location that could be a possible meeting for some monthly gatherings, because we really do plan to continue to get together,
That's right.
be face to face. For those of you that are in the area, for sure, and for those of you that are across the water, then we've got some things that we're working on connecting with, like the Skype and all that.
Oh, yes, yes.
And you've been doing that forever,
Plus.
and then some.
Yeah.
So there's lots of movement, and you get to jump on board wherever you feel comfortable, and just do your best, as William was sharing. Don't be rigid, in your allowing of things in, unless you want to be,
And so enjoy your dreams. Enjoy the collective dreams. Recognize you have daydreams that are equal to fantasies. Keep those separate from your night dreams, your projected dreams. Recognize those dreams that are observed and those dreams that you participate in, so that you become your best therapist, your best healer, your best teacher for yourself.
And that just all starts with you paying attention to you and where you're at.
Absolutely
and being,
true.
Not being so much into the future planning, and not be back into the past rejecting, and do your best to be in the present moment with yourself, like the breathing moment.
So you don't have to like Asian people, but you have the need to love their right to be as free as you. Because just recently, last night, somebody went around to clubs and shot a bunch of Japanese people here in America.
Yeah, that speaks to the unconsciousness that's happening.
And you can heal it with your dreams.
Yes, and you can heal that fear as well.
Yes.
My acronym for William for love is living, learning, only valuable, vast experience.
Yes, yes, yes. And so, go ahead.
No, that was it. That was all I could say.
The important thing, friends, is let us all communicate, let us all interact, and remember, no matter what you do, there are people who are going to think that you're wrong. Ask yourself, when is the last time they paid your mortgage? When's the last time they went and did your grocery shopping? The only person that you might listen to is the people that pay your mortgage, buy your food, and take care of you. But they're still not there to tell you what to do.
No, so open, honest communication is pretty important with yourself first. So you know where you're at or where you're not at. That's always a good baseline. Where are you not at today? Well, I'm not open to opinions, projections, or people's thoughts about whatever it is I got on. I mean, for instance.
Right.
So, I mean, sometimes it feels when you're starting to set boundaries and you're new with this idea of setting boundaries that you're a little bit rude. Yeah, you are. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you just have to just cut people off. Like, excuse me, I didn't even
And
ask you to talk.
sometimes what you think is rude, they think was a compliment.
Isn't that funny?
Oh, yeah.
So if we can get out of just needing to have things look a certain way, they can blossom into something even more better than we imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, because the universe is far more creative than my little pea brain in that, in that way, right?
So, and I thank you all for tuning in and listening to us. Share with other people. And Renata's got her cards.
I do. So we're
Yes.
gonna pull now.
Good.
Okay. So a collective. Before I came in, we got these two. Got problem? Make light of it all so you can see clearly.
Yeah.
That sounds like a little smarty butt thing, but really is. And then gambling on disgrace. That's my acronym for God.
Yeah.
Sometimes self-sabotage is a bitch. And we do a lot of that with ourselves.
Oh, yes.
We doubt, we beat ourselves up, we go way into the past again, we go way into the future, and just kind of come here now with yourself, and ask yourself, how would life be any different right in this very moment if I had everything I wanted?
And if you disagree with something, unless you have a positive way of changing it, keep your mouth shut.
And just to show how synchronicity comes when you're allowing newness to come into your life, we're going to ask Chris to pull a card. Hold the cards and just pull one and then give it back to us. Top one, what did he pull? So this is a message for all of our readers and all of our, So I'm going to go with the Six of Diamonds, which is about peace and harmony in your values in life. Six of Diamonds, peace and harmony, responding, responsibility. Peace and harmony is a really good one. And diamonds is always about value.
Value, yes. Value life. Not yours alone, but life in every tree, plant, all of the soil. Give it life.
Everything is alive and breathing. And so when you start to honor that, everything starts to honor you back.
Oh,
your
yes,
plants
yes,
grow
yes.
better. All of a sudden, the animals want to come hang out in your yard. When you have a challenge, you just put it out there to the universe, and you get a bunch of different solutions at your door almost immediately.
May I tell you one story?
Yeah, please do.
Renata and I met a young man and his dog, Duke, at the elevator. And last night, I saw him, the man, and he said, "May I ask what unit you live in?" So I told him. He said, "We don't even live near you. We live in the building." But he said, "I was walking my dog, and he went right to that unit and wanted to go in." Synchronicity. Energy.
Synchronicity is a new time frame. We keep saying
Absolutely.
that. So if you pay attention to your intention, then the universe will respond clearly
Yep.
in a way that you understand.
Because that dog said, that person that I liked, he's in there.
I want to go lick on his face a little bit or something.
So I think that's exciting.
I think it's
And
really
by the way,
cool.
that was a pit bull.
Yeah, I think I remember, and he was cute.
Yes. And some people say, oh, I'm afraid of pit bulls. He's not going to come knocking on your door.
He's not gonna come knocking on your door. He might pee at your door, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's another subject.
So the point is, love everything. Don't judge anything. Just because they're not like you doesn't mean they're not good.
It seems that our job as counselors, healers, those categories, are really about not so much telling people now what to do, but showing them how you can move through things a lot more gracefully.
Gracefully, yes. Remember that there is never a challenge unless there is a solution.
That makes so much sense to me.
Oh, it does.
I mean, it feels hopeful, it feels loving, it feels uniting, because this particular story that we've got, floating around there with all the fear that's being bombarded at us, if I were to believe all of that came at me, and then if I moved it through me, ooh, wow, I don't think I'd be here.
Exactly.
I would not be as radiant as I am, because I don't choose to, honor that. That's not my story. And so that's what I say to people, and you say it too. Love everybody's right to be. Write your own life story.
And I always say, I love everyone, but there are some people that I never invite into my home.
Mm-hmm. we could say, truth to that one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know what time it is, though?
Yes.
It's hug time, too. We get a hug.
And
And we love all of you, too. We'll see
Take
you
care.
next week.
as long as there's a next week.
As long as there's a next week. Bye for now.
Thank you.